Hello, everyone. We're going to do ancestral trauma release today. And I know some energy tricks which can help you release all those sadness, the fears, the not connectedness, the disconnectedness. And so the ancestral trauma release has to do with your root chakra, with your legs, and with your leg chakras. And what we're going to do is on the left side, you have the female side, the mother, the past, the female past. The on the right side, you have the mother, the father, the masculine, the future. So the right side is where you go to, the left side is where you came from. And these energies, your left is feminine, your right foot is masculine, your left leg is feminine, your right leg is masculine. And so the left represents the past, the right represents the future. And so what you want to do is you visualize a bowl around your foot, your left foot. Imagine like 10 to 20 centimeters like this. There's like a bowl around your foot, okay? And you're just closing your eyes. You're just visualizing that bowl around your left foot. And then imagine there's like an energy hand with your finger, an energy finger that is probing, that is like circling and probing in this bowl, outside, inside, moving around, is trying to find a spot where the sadness might be saved, where this memory might be saved. So it's somewhere in that auric field around that bowl. You're just moving around, like trying to find it, okay? And you go very slow. You just visualize that, imagining that you're within the foot, outside the foot, under the foot, behind the foot, basically like a bowl around it, okay? And then you do the same thing you do on the right foot. On the left foot, you concentrate on your mother. If there's some kind of sadness related to your mother, on the right side, some kind of sadness with your father. And you can slowly like go from one side to the other and probe within those two spheres. And then once you did it for like a minute or two or three on the one side, deep breathing, then you go to the other side, do it again. And sometimes as you do this exercise, imagining you have this energy finger there searching for something, something might come up. There might be a memory, there might be an emotion, there might be an impulse, there might be a thought, an image from the past, anything, okay? And stick with that. So you once that comes up, you focus on that. And as you focus on that, you then allow basically what you then do is nadi breathing. Nadi breathing is that you pick that spot where you feel there could be something, and you imagine that you're breathing that energy to the left side of your hip as you breathe in, and you're breathing it out, returning to the foot. So you're doing it on whether it's the left or right side. You can do both. You breathe that energy where you feel there could be something. You breathe that to your left side of the hip, and then you breathe it to the right side of your hip on the right side. Okay, because this nadi breathing helps open up the blockage channel and helps release that energy that I call this energy cloud, the emotional energy cloud, to rise through the nadi, the energy channel, like an elevator. And you will start to feel pressure, and the higher you allow this pressure to go, the higher you allow it to come to your eyes, the easier it is to cry it out. And it's if you do it the first times, it can be a very, very difficult process, especially if there's a lot of stuff stuck there. And you can have a small affirmations where you're like, now I allow to release all the problems of my mother. Now I allow myself to release all the problems of my father. And you go through, and all my ancestors, the grandfathers, the abuelas, the grandmothers. So you allow yourself to release all of that. And the important thing is that you learn to be subtle, and that you learn to probe that area in that sphere for those stored things, and then allow it to rise throughout the whole body, up to the eyes, up to the crown chakra, in order to cry it out, in order to release that energy. And then you can affirm it. I don't need this anymore now. I don't need this anymore now. I can be free from this energy now. I'm free from this energy now. I don't need to carry this around, this baggage with me. It doesn't serve me. It doesn't serve me. I'm free from it. I allow myself to be 100% self-love. I allow myself to be clean and cleared from that energy. And I don't need to carry this with me as I move forward. I'm creating a new life. I'm respecting and I'm honoring what has been before, but now I'm creating a new life. I'm creating a spiritual utopia within my psychoenergetic field. And just that exercise, if you're able to do this well, it will tremendously raise your frequencies, because you can work a lot on your upper chakras, but if that ancestral stuff that you bring from the past, if that hasn't been released, it's going to tie you down over and over again. It's like an undercurrent, like a seabed of mud that just keeps on piling and bothering you without you knowing. And that's where actually, and this is the interesting part, that's just where actually all the deep self-sabotage comes from. The kind of like, I thought I had this done, now it gets repeated again. I thought I was over this already. Why am I experiencing this again? This is because the mud hasn't been cleared yet. So this energy exercise is super, super, super powerful, but you have to do it intentionally. Like just being barefoot in nature, it's a great way to connect with nature, but it's not a guarantee for releasing yourself from these ancestral traumas and karma. And it's why it's one of the most powerful things, because it affects your entire energy system in a super profound way. It's like as if you were building a new foundation on your colosseum of energy systems that are built on top of it. So I highly, 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 highly recommend it. And it's actually one of those things that we most love to avoid. This is the interesting thing. There where we would get the most growth, we love to avoid that kind of work, because it feels sticky, it feels muddy. We don't want to deal with. It's kind of like as if, imagine you would be going along in nature and suddenly there's a huge pile of mud and somebody says, strip all of your clothes and go into the mud. You're like, as an adult, you're like, nah, thank you, no. And it feels pretty much the same thing. We don't want to do it, but it changes your life profoundly. So I highly, highly recommend it. Again, there's the sphere on the left side around your foot, the sphere 10 to 20 centimeters on your right side. The left side is the mother, is the past. The right side is the father, it's the future. And if you have problems moving into the future, it's the right side. If you have trouble disconnecting from the past, it's the left side. And unless these two are cleared and in balance, you're going to have a tough time manifesting and being in the present and being centered and being in your power. Anytime you feel tired, anytime you don't feel power, anytime you feel like complete, it's not just, it's basically, it's a guarantee for looking at your root chakra at the very bottom, because somewhere between the hip, but the perineum and the bottom of your feet, somewhere the energy there is blocked, and that's causing you what's being tired. And a lot of times there's things which, if you're very unsure in life and there's lots of things happening around you that are creating this insecurity, this deep insecurity, that's where you have to look. And then if you see that makes you fall into tiredness, or you suspect, then that's exactly where you have to look. And almost all tiredness in the body is related to a blocked root chakra. Because as soon as the root chakra opens, it immediately sends energy into the sacral chakra, and the sacral chakra is joy and sexuality, and you immediately start like, wow, what am I going to do? And if you don't feel that, it means your root chakra is blocked. And of course, if your root chakra is constantly blocked because of fear, etc., or from the karma from the past, then the upper energy centers don't get enough prana and chi, and that's where disease, etc., comes from.